Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and I'm extremely excited to bring to you tonight the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 Man with No Name from the awesome Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection. Yes, this is going to be Clint Eastwood as he appeared in the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And this is going to be a beautiful figure to take a look at, and I am so excited. Now, this is a 1/6 scale, and most of the figures we do here on the channel are 1/12, which are 6-inch action figures. This is going to be 12 inches, and it's going to be beautiful. All right. Jumping in, taking a look at the box. It is a very large box, and so it should be with a 12-inch figure inside. You have the Man with No Name. You have Clint Eastwood standing right there behind a cannon, which is awesome. You have Clint Eastwood, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Da-da. You have S for Sideshow Collectibles and 6 scale on the side of the box. You have an awesome print of Clint Eastwood's signature. It says Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection. You have Sideshow at the bottom. Coming to the back of the box, oh my gosh, that is a beautiful picture of Clint Eastwood, and the tagline, "For 3 men, the Civil War wasn't hell. It was practice." Dun, dun, dun. You have Sideshow Collectibles here, a barcode. On the other side of the box, you have the same Sideshow and Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection. On the top of the box, you have the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And coming around to the bottom of the box, you have nothing, which is fine. And that is the box for this massive figure. And I don't want to see this guy in the box. I know you don't, so let's get him out and see how cool he is. And here we are, and I know he's still in the box because normally we'd cut back and he would be out of the box, but I just wanted to take a closer look at this presentation of the box on the inside. Once you open up the box, you have the figure right here, and he is packed in a nice clamshell. You have a nice Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection strip across the front. That is very cool. And over here, we saw the back of the box here, but on the sides, there is still some more detail. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Clint Eastwood Legacy Edition, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and some more Clint Eastwood Legacy Edition. And on the inside, it is decorated like Clint Eastwood's famous poncho. I thought that was cool and a lot of neat detail. Okay, that's enough of the packaging. Let's get to the figure. And here we have the Man with No Name out of the box. And out of the box, he comes with alternate hands, some weapons, a rock, a poncho, a figure stand, and his awesome self. And he stands approximately 13 inches tall with that awesome hat on. And that is just an incredible, incredible sculpt. So let's get close in and take a look at the man himself. So coming real close in on the Man with No Name, we're going to take our time because there is a lot of detail that they put into this figure. So first off, taking a look at this hat, it is very nicely done, very well worn as it were. It's not just your standard brand new hat. You do got a lot of weathering in it. You got some detail here. The hat band is very nice and black. You got some silver over here on the sides, and coming around to the top of the hat, this is just an amazingly done mold, and I love it. Very nice. Coming around to the back of Clint Eastwood's head, you can see his hair sticking down there. That is awesome. Like the beard coming down. Look at that profile. That is just Clint Eastwood. I can tell you now. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. Let's come down to his actual face. Those eyes, they are almost done in glass. They put off an awesome shine. I love that. Now the hat does not come off. It's molded onto the head, so that's all right. Coming to his face, you have the awesome eyebrows, the wrinkles in his forehead coming down to his nose, the cigarette burning there. Now that doesn't come out either. That is stationary. You have nice stubble on his cheeks. His face is just so so well done. And this is a Sideshow product for you. They specialize in getting 100% accuracy in their molds, and that is just awesome. All right, so coming down, you have his neckerchief here, and that is a single piece of cloth. It goes all the way around. And coming to his chest, he is wearing soft good clothing, so I'm not going to take that off because it is really on there, really tight, and that's really the only way you could get it to make cloth goods look good is if you make them like skin tight. But wow, they did an excellent job with this shirt. Looking at the shirt first, it is the long sleeve blue and white striped shirt he's wearing. It does open up here at the cuff, so, and that's movie accurate. He didn't have it buttoned at the bottom, but you do see the joints, but that's okay. I'm used to seeing joints. Some people may not. If you're really high-end collectibles, you may not want to see that, but I don't mind. There are some nice little white buttons coming down the center, and that is in addition to the actual buttons that they use to keep the shirt closed. There is a black button here. He has this nice wool vest over his shirt, and this is really nicely done. You can actually feel the texture here, and when you lift the bottom, oh, that is so soft. Very, very nicely done. Good quality of cloth goods. That is just nice. All right, so coming down to his waist, he does have two pistol belts. One is actually put into the loops of his pants, and it's really nicely done, nice and brown. Got a gold buckle here, and below is the pistol belt, which, look at this detail. Oh my gosh, you can see the stitching in there. Here's the holster with the buckle on the side. Wow, that is so nice. Again, gold belt buckle, some more detail here with the stitching, and coming to the back, wow, he's got some bullets in there, and that is really nice. Look at that mold, those detail. That is so beautiful. You got a gold plus a gray for the tip of the bullet itself. That is awesome. Coming to the back, you do have the underbelt here, and then the pistol belt's going up that way. It's kind of riding up, but you can adjust that however you want it. So that's awesome. All right, let's take a look at these trousers. We're going to zoom out just a little bit. These trousers are very nicely done. A dark blue, almost black. I think it's actually navy. No, I don't know. It's either navy blue or black, but either way, they are nicely done. You have some nice stitching right here in the front, stitching for pockets. Very, very authentic. Wow, coming down. Now at the bottom, you can actually see that they put some wash or some wear on the knees so they can be dusty, and the same with the top of the pants right here. Very nicely done. That is awesome. Coming to the back of the pants, you do have two pockets right here. Coming down, some more of that wear and wash right here. That is cool. Now, coming to the boots. Every good cowboy needs some boots, so let's zoom in on those boots. Wow, check that out. The boots are basically made and designed. Let's see if we can get some more light on those boots, just to give them a look. They're mostly dark tan here at the bottom, and this is the harder molded part, and it's in a wash, so they look very dirty. You do have a set of spurs on here. That is awesome, and the spurs don't move, so that's missed opportunity, I guess, but all the detail in here, that is awesome. Look at the back of it, and then on the bottom of the boots, you do got some just molded detail there. Nothing copyright, no peg holes or anything. This is not the type of figure that you will stuff onto a stand. Now, if you lift up the pants, the boots will come up to about here, and they are soft goods all the way up to the top. So the main hard part that you will get them to stand on is right here. So that's basically the molded part of the foot, so they don't come off or anything. So wow, that is awesome. This figure, just looks amazing. The detail, the quality of the stitch work and the soft goods. This is beautiful, and this is the man with no name. Moving on. And for articulation, now this is going to be a lot different than when we review action figures because he is cloth goods, which means we're not going to get a full range of the articulation that the figure has unless we were to take off all the clothes, and I'm not doing that because one, I don't think all the clothes can come off, and two, I'd never be able to get it on. So we will do the best we can with what we can get to. All right, so starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. It can look down a long way, which is really awesome. It can look up a little bit. It can get a lot of wiggle waggle, so that is really great for a man with few words, but great expressions. All right, coming down to the shoulders. Shoulders can come up from the body a long way, again hindered by the clothing, but that's all right. And if they were so inclined, they could go all the way around. It does sound like they are ratcheted, so I bet you can get 360 degrees out of there if the clothes didn't hinder. You do have an independent bicep rotation, 360 degrees if it's allowed, coming down to a elbow bend, and that is a hugely double jointed elbow bend. I love that. He can already get that there, kind of scratch his neck like he does, and that is cool. He does not have a forearm rotation, but coming down to his hands, they do go around 360 degrees, and they are on a ball joint like the McFarlane, so depending on which way you got the ball joint, they can hinge up and down or left and right. So that is really nice. Coming to the center of the body, he does have ab articulation right here. He can get a lot of wiggly waggly there and possibly go 360 degrees around if he did not have his clothes. Coming down to his waist, he does have a waist articulation, 360 degrees I'm thinking, but with the clothes you're never going to be able to tell, but you do get enough to twist and turn however you need him to turn, and that's fine. Coming down to the leg can go up just a little bit, not too much. Again, restrictions with the pants. Back, not so much because the butt gets in the way. You do have a thigh rotation right here, which is good. And then you have your double knee bend, which is a lot of good motion. Coming down, get that back in order. You have a foot rotation right here, and that will go around 360 degrees, but the boot is on there, so it won't. And you shouldn't, or else you'll like tear it off the joint inside the boot, but you'll be able to put it back on because I already did that. So it can go back, it can bend down, and there it went again, but it snaps right back onto place, and it can bend up and around to the side if you want to rock it. So yeah, there you go. A lot of good articulation for the man with no name, but you're not going to really use it all because, again, hopefully you're not going to be playing with this guy like a normal action figure and just have him posted on a shelf somewhere. All right, moving on. And starting with the man with no name's accessories, he comes with some alternate hands. He comes with an alternate left hand, and it's kind of open here. Don't know exactly what he could hold in there. Maybe a pistol or maybe the rock or something, but we can put something in there. Then he comes with 3 sets of actual hands. He has a pair of fisted hands, which are really nice in case he wants to punch Angel Eyes or Tuco. He could do that. He comes with a set of open hands. They are just got his fingers there, kind of relaxed, calm. And next he comes with some more hands that are open, and they're a little differently designed with the thumb a little further out from the rest of the fingers. So that is interesting, very lifelike. And then he has 2 alternate right hands, and those are going to be your pistol holding hands. And this is really nice. Let's get his finger right there in the trigger well. And here again, little smaller, so that is really cool. One probably for the rifle and one for the pistol, so that is pretty neat. And that is gonna be your hands. Moving on.
write the name on the bottom of this stone.
And the name he wrote on the bottom of this rock was the name of the grave that had all the money that they were looking for in the movie in it. And yes, the name is on the bottom of this rock. But first off, let's take a look at the front of the rock. It's very nicely done. A lot of details in it. It is nicely molded. Wow, that is so cool. I really like it. I mean, it is really just a rock, okay? And there's nothing great about it. But the significance of it in the movie was important, so they threw it in here. And if you really want to see the bottom of the rock, here it is. And to understand the truth, go watch the movie. Moving on.
I do the cutting. We cut down my percentage. Liable to interfere with my aim.
And here we have the awesome rifle that Blondie would use to cut Tuco down while they were trying to scam the little towns. And it is really nicely done. It is 7.5 inches long, and starting at the barrel down here, it is very nicely done in a gunmetal gray, coming to some brown right up here, right below this awesome scope, which is usually in a laid down position, but right now it's up, so this is where you can get the higher range targets, and that is really cool. Coming down to the side of the gun, very nice. Got washed gunmetal gray here, and then you have the trigger wheel down here. Now this is articulated. This little piece can come down all the way around, so that is awesome. And the trigger doesn't move, but that's all right. And coming to the top of the weapon, the hammer can come back, so that is articulated. That is really cool right there. And that will bring us to the stock, which is nice wood grain, a lot of detail there. And the back, you do get a little bit of silver here, and underneath you got some silver coming up here with some screw holes. That is a very beautifully detailed piece. A lot of walnut wash in there, so yeah, this is a very cool armament that Blondie could wield, and it just looks fantastic. All right, moving on.
Every gun makes its own tune. It's perfect timing, large one.
And here we have the deadly Colt 1851 Navy revolver that Blondie used, and it is very nicely done for a pistol of this size. You can see they have the nice rattlesnake here on the handle. It's done in silver, and on the other side you have the second one. That is cool. The top of the gun is done in a gunmetal gray, almost like has a little mix of gold in it to come off the back of the pistol. That is nice. You have some nice cylinder action here. The hammer will go back and forth. That is good detail. I like that articulation. The cylinder itself will move 360 degrees around, so that is impressive. Coming down, you do have the two sections here with the top in black, and you have the gunmetal gray here at the bottom where this would come down, and this is really nice. Nice pistol hole there for the barrel, and that is so cool. He can hold this, and he can holster this, whatever he feels he needs to do with this pistol. Taking care of business. All right, moving on.
$200,000 is a lot of money. We're gonna have to earn it.
And for the final figure accessory, Blondie comes with his famous poncho. Now this is really nicely done. It is a light brown with some tan designs all over it, and that is good. You have some thick line designs down here, and then you have some nice tassels hanging off the bottom. Now he did wear a poncho in all three of the Man with No Name movies. A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And there has been some controversy over what colors they were, if they were light brown, if they were olive green, or if they were dark brown. But Clint Eastwood did not wear this poncho to the last scene of the movie during the last duel. He went the entire movie not even in most of the outfit that we've seen him tonight. He didn't get the costume that we see him in tonight till after he left the prison camp, and the poncho even came later after he ministered to a dying soldier. But anyway, back to the point of the poncho is it was this light brown, and I like it. But if you don't like this particular one, when you turn it on the inside out, you do get the light green color, which again is an awesome choice to be able to put him in. But the problem with this one is that the seam of the actual poncho is very much visible here. So obviously it was designed to be wore the other way around. But if you still want that kind of green, you can always kind of throw it up over his shoulder, so you still kind of get both colors there. And as for the darker brown, if you want something like that, maybe you can find some sort of custom made poncho, but I really like this one. Either side is fine with me, and obviously he could wear this in different ways, and I think this is very cool. All right, moving on. And for his last figure accessory, which is a accessory for the figure, you have this awesome stand, and it is really nicely done. You have a nice hexagon base right here. It's nice and thick. You have a stand part coming up here, which breaks into some wires and some hooks for it to cradle around, and that is really nicely done. And it can go down a little bit depending on how you want to position your figure, so that is really nice. And the best part of this stand is at the bottom of the stand you have an awesome print of Clint Eastwood's signature, and it says the Legacy Collection. That is so cool. Sideshow Collectibles here at the top. And at the bottom, you do have some credits for the figure, and that is really, really neat. I like that presentation. And that is going to be your final accessory for the Man with No Name figure. All right, moving on. And for a laughing comparison, because I have nothing in my collection that can top the quality and just magnificence of this Man with No Name figure, but I'm going to try with this Ghostbuster Plasma Series Peter Venkman, the Deep Space Nine Captain Sisko from the Wormhole series back in '99, and the Hasbro Darth Vader, I can't remember which series it was. His helmet comes off and he says, "Help me get this mask off," and blah blah blah. And I don't know, none of these really compare, maybe in height, but in height alone, as far as quality, make, and mold, and build, nothing compared to this Sideshow Man with No Name. He takes the cake. All right, moving on. And this has been the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 Man with No Name from the Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection. And I have to say, this figure blew me away. Now, I have always known that Sideshow puts out the best likenesses, but I never realized it until I got the Man with No Name here. Because this is Clint Eastwood shrunk down to 12.5 inches. And wow, I love this thing. This is not a toy. It's not a model. It is a masterpiece that belongs in a museum. This is beautiful. And I think they did a really excellent job with this. You can tell they spent hours getting the sculpt and the mold and the paints and the designs right, the clothing, just the details in the weapons and the hands. This is just incredible. And I am just so happy to be able to have got this in my collection. Speaking about the figure as I would a normal figure review, which this doesn't even apply because there's no way that this even compares to anything that I've ever done before. The sculpt and mold out of the park, just incredible. The articulation is hindered because of the clothed goods, but you're not going to be playing with this thing like you would a normal action figure. You're going to put him in some sort of dynamic stance or regular stance and just leave him on the shelf to be admired, because this thing is so fascinating. I keep looking at that face and those eyes. I know it's not coming across on camera, but those eyes are just so alive and shine so well in the light that it looks so real. I really can't say enough about how I love this figure. The design is great. You can argue that this is not only a good, the bad, and the ugly figure, but a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more figure. The accessories are great. I love his pistol and his rifle. They are indicative of the good, the bad, and the ugly. He did not have the Navy Colt in a fistful of dollars or a few dollars more. That was just for this one, which made sense because he was in the middle of the Civil War and it is a military pistol, so I get that. The Rock, beautiful touch. I love that little detail from the film. His poncho was really nice. I love how it looks on him. I like all the cloth goods. I'm glad that they are not oversized like Migos would be, because that would really make this figure look stupid, but this is great. I'm happy that they included a figure stand. I don't think I'll use it, but maybe it depends on how well he stands. I have not had any problem with him standing yet. So yeah, just incredible, incredible figure. Now, if you are looking for this awesome Clint Eastwood Sideshow figure, you're gonna have to look really hard, and it may cost you a little bit of money. The best bet is to always go to sideshow.com and see if he is online there. If not, usually they have a waiting list where you can join to try to get him, which is what I had to do, because when I first tried to get this figure, he sold out, but I was surprised within like a month or so, it popped back into stock and I was able to get one. But if that's not available to you, you can check Big Bad Toy Store, other online retailers. eBay, you can go and they will be there, but you're going to be looking anywhere between $200 to $500 for this guy. Now, originally he is around $260, $275 plus shipping if you find him at retail price. So yeah, he's kind of a big chunk of change, but I believe you can tell in the quality that he is definitely worth it. And he is just one of the Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection. If you like this figure, there are 3 others that you may be interested in if you're not interested in the Man with No Name. Sideshow has also released the Outlaw Josie Wales, the Preacher from Pale Rider, and Dirty Harry Callahan. 2 versions of Dirty Harry. So whichever suit you like, there you go. Now, these figures are available on the Sideshow website now, and they range anywhere between $260 to $280, and they are really nice in quality too. I've got my eye on that Preacher from Pale Rider, so we may be doing another review from Sideshow in the future. But let me also mention that if this figure just doesn't do it for you, it's like, it's good, but I want something better, Sideshow has 2 Clint Eastwood statues in their Legacy Collection. One of the Man with No Name, a premium statue, which will run you $625, and a Dirty Harry statue, which is also $630. And those are very, very nice. Now, these are statues. They don't articulate, they don't move, but they definitely make something to talk about on your shelf, and they are fantastic. So there you are with Sideshow, giving you a vast variety of Clint Eastwood figures and statues that you may want to add to your collection. And if you're looking for any of them, happy hunting. Alright guys, that is the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.